fakultas selama ini ada 4 ya. Nantinya diharapkan ada 7 fakultas. Yang ada itu Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dengan penekanaan ilmu politik yang sudah berjalan, Fakultas Pendidikan, kemudian Ekonomi dan Bisnis dan Islamic Studies. Yang berikutnya kita juga membuat satu pusat kebudayaan karena kampus ini punya 3 pilar. Pilar akademik yang berpusat di fakultas, program studi, kemudian pusat kebudayaan. Nah, pusat kebudayaan ini ingin menampilkan berbagai kekayaan budaya Nusantara dan diharapkan juga nanti budaya-budaya dari mahasiswa asing yang datang ke sini bisa mengenalkan pada yang lain. Yang ketiganya pusat research, sehingga yang datang ke sini bukan sekedar dosen dan mahasiswa, tapi para peneliti, dan ini sudah mulai berdatangan. Dengan demikian, jejaring dari kampus ini tidak semata antar kampus untuk exchange student, tapi juga antar peneliti, sehingga kemudian diharapkan bisa melahirkan satu produk-produk penelitian yang berkualitas. Makanya sangat penting di dunia kampus itu tumbuh iklim kebebasan, sebab tanpa adanya kebebasan berpikir, berpendapat, ilmu pengetahuan tidak akan berkembang. Nah, mestinya pengalaman di Indonesia ini bisa memberikan satu wawasan sebagai kontribusi.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Procession Hall of Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia. We are about to begin the third academic convocation for the academic year of 2022 and 2024.
Before we begin, we would like to remind all participants to be aware of the following precautions. Please switch your mobile phones to silent mode. Kindly remain orderly throughout the event. And please do not leave this room throughout the event. Kindly put your belongings under your seats. Thank you.
Disebut sebagai Muslim Country ini punya lembaga keilmuan yang memang tingkat internasional yang bisa menggabungkan tradisi yang berkembang di Indonesia dan juga berkembang di pusat-pusat keilmuan di dunia. Yang pertama, kampus ini dibangun untuk kepentingan dalam negeri. Satu, memberikan satu fasilitas bagi putra-putra bangsa agar dia bisa mengenyam pendidikan yang berstandar internasional, tidak harus keluar negeri dengan biaya yang mahal. Kedua, ini juga diharapkan akan memberikan satu model networking dari institusi pendidikan dalam negeri sehingga kemudian naik pada jejaring kerjasama untas tingkat internasional. Dengan demikian, diharapkan kampus ini menjadi satu pusat dan sebagai hub bagi kampus-kampus bagi mahasiswa Indonesia agar peringkatnya itu naik, mitra-mitra jejaringnya itu naik pada tingkat internasional. Adapun keluar, diharapkan juga lewat kampus ini merupakan satu pusat kajian riset bagi putra-putra Indonesia maupun juga para mahasiswa asing, dosen asing, sehingga dari Indonesia ini akan memberikan kontribusi keilmuan, peradaban, kebudayaan. Nah, kami gembira banyak peminat baik mahasiswa maupun dosen datang dari berbagai benua, baik dari Timur Tengah, kemudian dari Australia, dari Eropa, dari Amerika. Nah, ini bagi saya menggembirakan, sehingga kampus ini terasa sekali sebagai kampus yang punya suasana kultural, intelektual itu internasional. Kita sudah membangun fakultas, selama ini ada 4 ya, nantinya diharapkan ada 7 fakultas. Yang ada itu Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dengan penekanan ilmu politik yang sudah berjalan, Fakultas Pendidikan, kemudian Ekonomi dan Bisnis dan Islamic Studies. Yang berikutnya kita juga membuat satu pusat kebudayaan karena kampus ini punya 3 pilar. Pilar akademik yang berpusat di fakultas, program studi, kemudian pusat kebudayaan. Nah, pusat kebudayaan ini ingin menampilkan berbagai kekayaan budaya Nusantara. Dan diharapkan juga nanti budaya-budaya dari mahasiswa asing yang datang ke sini bisa mengenalkan pada yang lain. Yang ketiganya pusat riset, sehingga yang datang ke sini bukan sekedar dosen dan mahasiswa, tapi para peneliti, dan ini sudah mulai berdatangan. Dengan demikian, jejaring dari kampus ini tidak semata antar kampus untuk exchange student, tapi juga antar peneliti, sehingga kemudian diharapkan bisa melahirkan satu produk-produk penelitian yang berkualitas. Makanya sangat penting di dunia kampus itu tumbuh iklim kebebasan, sebab tanpa adanya kebebasan berpikir, berpendapat, ilmu pengetahuan tidak akan berkembang. Nah, mestinya pengalaman di Indonesia ini bisa memberikan satu wawasan sebagai kontribusi pada dunia. Kami ingin bahwa kampus ini menjadi tujuan studi orang luar, dan kami juga ingin kampus ini menjadi satu ikon kebanggaan bagi bangsa dan negara, bahwa dari masyarakat yang disebut sebagai Muslim country ini punya lembaga keilmuan yang memang tingkat internasional yang bisa menggabungkan tradisi yang berkembang di Indonesia dan juga berkembang di pusat-pusat keilmuan di dunia. Yang pertama, kampus ini dibangun untuk kepentingan dalam negeri. Satu, memberikan satu fasilitas bagi putra-putra bangsa agar dia bisa mengenyam pendidikan yang berstandar internasional, tidak harus keluar negeri dengan biaya yang mahal. Kedua, ini juga diharapkan akan memberikan satu model networking dari institusi pendidikan dalam negeri, sehingga kemudian naik pada jejaring kerjasama universitas tingkat internasional. Dengan demikian, diharapkan kampus ini menjadi satu pusat dan sebagai hub bagi kampus-kampus, bagi mahasiswa Indonesia agar peringkatnya itu naik, mitra-mitra jejaringnya itu naik pada tingkat internasional. Adapun keluar, diharapkan juga lewat kampus ini merupakan satu pusat kajian riset bagi putra-putra Indonesia maupun juga para mahasiswa asing, dosen asing, sehingga dari Indonesia ini akan memberikan kontribusi keilmuan, peradaban, kebudayaan. Nah, kami gembira banyak peminat baik mahasiswa maupun dosen datang dari berbagai benua, baik dari Timur Tengah, kemudian dari Australia, dari Eropa, dari Amerika. Nah, ini bagi saya menggembirakan, sehingga kampus ini terasa sekali sebagai kampus yang punya suasana kultural, intelektual itu internasional. Kita sudah membangun fakultas, selama ini ada 4 ya, nantinya diharapkan ada 7 fakultas. Yang ada itu Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dengan penekanan ilmu politik yang sudah berjalan, Fakultas Pendidikan, kemudian Ekonomi dan Bisnis dan Islamic Studies. Yang berikutnya kita juga membuat satu pusat kebudayaan karena kampus ini punya 3 pilar. Pilar akademik yang berpusat di fakultas, program studi, kemudian pusat kebudayaan. Nah, pusat kebudayaan ini ingin menampilkan berbagai
Before we begin, we would like to remind all participants to be aware of the following precautions. Please switch your mobile phones to silent mode. Kindly remain orderly throughout the event. And please do not leave this room throughout the event. Kindly put your belongings under your seats. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we welcome the University Senate. Participants, please be seated. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To the Honorable Rector of Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia, Professor Komarudin Hidayat, the Chairman of the UIII Board of Trustees, His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Yusuf Kala, the respected members of the University Senate, our esteemed guests, and all distinguished students. This day manifests a significant moment for students embarking on a remarkable journey towards a bright future. We understand that this day is a much-awaited event in every student's life. This day, to put forth the best efforts towards achieving goals by starting to pursue education at Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia.
We would like to congratulate our new students who had overcome the rigorous admissions process to the acceptance of students. We ascertain that we have selected the elite candidates for the 2023-2024 academic year intake of students. On behalf of the university, I, Devi Mariam,
and I, Fahrul Hafiz Rinaldi,
express our highest gratitude to everyone's presence on these momentous occasions. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to the Academic Convocation 2023.
To commence today's ceremony, let us rise for the national anthem of Indonesia, Lagu Indonesia Raya. Please remain standing for the university's hymn, Himne Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia. Please be seated.
We would like to turn our attention to the words of the Holy Quran, performed by the esteemed Ustadz Sapriyadi Al-Hafidh from the Triple Ayu Rahmatan Lil Alamin Mosque. To Ustadz Sapriyadi Al-Hafidh, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من جاء بالحسنة فله عشر أمثالها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى إلا مثلها فلا يجزى إلا مثلها وهم لا يظلمون. قل إنني هداني ربي إلى صراط مستقيم. دينا قيما ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما كان من المشركين وما كان من المشركين. صدق الله العظيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We express our utmost appreciation to you, Ustad, for the mesmerizing recital. Thank you. You may return to your seat.
In honor of declaring open the proceeding of the Academic Convocation 2023, Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia, let us welcome the Honorable Rector, Professor Komarudin Hidayat, to officially open the Academic Convocation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
By reciting Basmalah, I officially open this academic convocation 2023. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Thank you, Honorable Rector.
To continue this delightful moment, we would like to invite the respected Vice Rector for Academic, Student Affairs, and Human Resources, Dr. Bahrul Hayat, to present the annual academic report.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, His Excellency Chairman of the University Board of Trustees, Pak Yusuf Kalla, Honorable Rector, Chair, and committee members of the Academic Senate, Vice Rectors, Dean, Head of the Study Program, and my fellow faculty members, our pride students of Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the Almighty God, for bestowing His grace and mercy on us, so we can hold the academic convocation today. Welcome to IIIU. The convocation is the university tradition of welcoming new students and marking the beginning of the academic year. The convocation also serves as an opportunity for all of us, the IIIU community, to renew our commitment to quality teaching, innovative research, and extensive community services. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this academic year, the university received over 2,000 applications from 62 countries. However, after rigorous, fair, and transparent selection process, the university accepted only 228 new master and doctoral students. The Faculty of Islamic Studies accepted 68 students, including 55 master and 13 doctoral students. The Faculty of Social Sciences accepted 50 students, including 39 masters and 11 doctoral students. The Faculty of Economics and Business accepted 66 students, including 54 master and 12 doctoral students. And the Faculty of Education accepted 44 students, including 27 master and 17 doctoral students. Allow me to reiterate that the university has a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination in student admission based on race, religion, ethnicity, gender, disability, and other factors. We respectfully request the Honorable Rector of Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia hand over the new master and doctoral student for this academic year to their respective dean, so that all new students can begin their educational program. Following to the today convocation, all new students will participate in the University Orientation Week. The orientation is designed to introduce new students to academic and non-academic program at IIIU, their new academic home. My fellow students, you will find studying at IIIU very challenging. You will collaborate closely with faculty members and fellow students through the exchange of ideas and mutual learning. Our faculty members are committed to providing the best education possible and are going to welcome you with warmth and enthusiasm. Finally, I would like to welcome you all new students to Universitas Islam International Indonesia. We wish you success in your studies and God bless you. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Bahrul Hayat, for the report. You may return to your seat. The following agenda is the entrustment of students. To the Honorable Rector, please present the list of students to the deans of each faculty. We would like to invite the Dean of the Faculty of Islamic Studies, Professor Nurhaidi Hasan, to receive the student list. Next, the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Philips Dusario Vermonte, PhD. Please step forward to receive the list.
Next, we invite the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Professor Dian Mashita, to receive the list. And last but not least, the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Professor Nina Nurmila. Please proceed. Let's give a final round of applause to all the deans of the faculty.
We will now continue with a message delivered by the chairman of the UIII Board of Trustees, His Excellency Muhammad Yusuf Kala. His Excellency Yusuf Kala is the only Vice President of Indonesia who has served for 2 non-consecutive terms in office. Since 2009, he has served as the chairman of the Indonesian Red Cross Society. Recently, in May 2022, he was awarded the Grand Cardinal of the Order of the Rising Sun for fostering Indonesia-Japan relations at the Imperial Palace. To His Excellency Yusuf Kala, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wasallam. Yang saya hormati saudara rektor dan seluruh wakil rektor dan seluruh dekan serta para guru besar daripada UIII. First of all, let me welcome you all new students in this university. Foreigners from many countries and from Indonesia, of course, because we welcome you to study here in this new university with big campus, and we hope that why we are here, we invite you come to learn in this environment, Indonesia, Muslim environment here in Indonesia, will be moderate and compare with Islamic studies, and of course when you study business and education, and next year will be health faculty, public health. Jadi sekali lagi saya ingin menyampaikan terima kasih, selamat datang kepada Anda semua, baik yang datang dari luar dan juga dari dalam negeri. Universitas ini didirikan untuk generasi muda Islam dimanapun, untuk membangun, mengamalkan Islam yang moderat, wasatiyah, sehingga yang penuh kedamaian, sehingga kita akan menciptakan dunia yang baik, apalagi dunia Islam. Kita mempunyai sejarah yang luar biasa majunya Islam ini, dan kita harus menegakkan kembali kemajuan itu bersama-sama dengan para generasi muda yang hadir di sini. Karena itulah saya ingin menyampaikan harapan bahwa Anda semua belajar dengan penuh perhatian dan fokus keseriusan. Karena itulah maka universitas itu membantu dan melengkapi Anda semua dengan hal-hal yang dibutuhkan untuk memperdalam ilmu. Kenapa internasional? Karena Islam itu tentunya bersifat universal. Bahwa kita mempunyai dari berbagai-bagai negara, tapi bersatu dalam keyakinan dan kemajuan. Karena itulah harapan saya semua, para anak-anakku yang tentu mempunyai harapan masa depan untuk bersama-sama bekerja, belajar bersama-sama di sini. Dan juga ucapan terima kasih saya kepada seluruh guru besar, seluruh dosen yang ada di sini untuk membina para generasi muda yang hadir di sini untuk mendapatkan ilmu yang baik untuk umat, untuk negara masing-masing, dan untuk bangsa kita, dan kesejahteraan, kedamaian yang ingin kita tujukan dalam pendidikan ini. Ini merupakan tentu gabungan daripada ilmu. Karena tidak ada negara, bangsa yang maju hanya dengan ilmu agama. Tapi negara maju juga tidak ada yang damai tanpa agama. Karena itu merupakan suatu bahagian daripada kebijakan universitas. Universitas ini universitas negeri. Jadi dibangun, dibiayai oleh pemerintah. Tapi Anda mempunyai kebebasan akademis yang kuat. Pemerintah hanya memberikan fasilitas, tapi akademik dan juga pengetahuan yang dapatkan merupakan kewenangan ilmiah yang kita bangun di sini. Harapan saya semoga anakku semua, ananda semua, saudara-saudara semua, that I hope the students here come from Indonesia and foreigner really do a study here with cooperations. And this is university, is government university, state university, but in academic way you are free to learn. Your professor and government is give you more free to make a study here with good situation. And university is green university. We have 140 hectares. Now we only building 20%. It means 80%, 120 hectares is green. Will be green, will be the forest in city, in university. Of course, need maybe a few years to make it completely. Behind you, there are lake. If you don't study on maybe Saturday or Sunday, you can fishing there. And when it will be green, it will be free to do that. That's why we hope that your study will be enjoyed too for all of you. Yeah. Will we have a good soccer field? We hope that your team, because many countries of you, many friends from Africa, there's good soccer, footballer who can train with you, and we have maybe you will be Indonesia, not number one in Indonesia university will become. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy and study focused here in the class. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Our next agenda is the Student Honor Pledge. We cordially invite Lukman bin Usman Imam from the Philippines to lead the Student Honor Pledge and followed by all the students. This symbolizes their unwavering commitment to Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia. To Lukman bin Usman Imam, please proceed to the position. And to all students, please rise and recite.
Student Honor Pledge. We, the student of Indonesian International Islamic University, hereby solemnly pledge, first, to realize the vision and the three pillars of Indonesian International Islamic University. Second, to protect the honor of Indonesian International Islamic University and comply with all applicable rules and regulations at the university. Third, to preserve the code of ethics upheld by Indonesian International Islamic University. Finally, to adhere and practice the academic values, truth, and humanity. May God always bless us all.
Thank you. You may return to your seats.
The Convocation ceremony is a highly momentous event for students. It is an occasion that acknowledges the students' hard work in their previous academic paths. This event instills a sense of accomplishments and inspires a commitment to fulfilling future goals at Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia. At this moment, with honor, we would like to invite the Honorable Rector, Professor Komarudin Hidayat, to deliver his welcoming remarks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyina Rasulillah amma ba'du. The Honorable Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Bapak Yusuf Kala, Honorable Deans, Honorable Vice Rectors, and our beloved brothers and sisters, students of UIII. This event remind me 2 years ago when it was the first time we have a Convocation Day. The time we still wearing masker, but today we look so free, Alhamdulillah. And it is good day to start our celebration and our venture to go ahead to study. First, I would like to welcome you to Indonesian International University, a place where academic excellence meets cultural diversity and where dreams and aspirations find nurturing home. Today, as director of this esteemed institution, it is my great honor to officially welcome each and every one of you that come from different regions, countries, and continents across the globe to be part of our vibrant academic university. As we stand here today, we mark the beginning of your journey into the heart of UIII, where we are dedicated to shaping not just students, but future leaders, scholars, and contributors to the global community. This Convocation Day 2023 not only marks the journey of your academic voyage 2023, but more than that. You may be wondering why you are here. The answer lies in your pursuit of knowledge, your pursuit of academic and scientific development. Our university comprises 4 faculties: Islamic Studies, Education, Economic and Business, and Social Sciences, all of which boast world-class educators who are committed to shaping mind and nurturing talents. Our journey from the inception of this campus, from very beginning, began with a big dream, a dream to create an academic institution that embodies knowledge, formation, and progress. UIII provides internationally standardized education that attempt to combine 3 main traditions: the Middle Eastern, which is very strong, emphasizing on the textual approach to knowledge. We have also here 3 professors from Al-Azhar University. Ahlan wa sahlan, ala hudurikum. And a Western empirical and analytical thinking, and enriched with the vibrant, multicultural, and democratic context of Indonesia, where we are now living and studying. Our campus is special because it is a place where you can explore the Muslim world from Indonesian lenses. Indonesia is known for its diverse cultures, tradition, and history, and it is also the world's largest Muslim majority democracy. So, being here allows you to study the Muslim world in a unique Indonesian context in a peaceful environment. Here, within the serene confines of our campus perimeter, I encourage you to momentarily embrace every aspect of this experience as valuable piece of your academic patchwork, a tapestry that you will weave throughout your time here. At UIII, our aim transcends the national standard. We are committed to contributing to academic excellence and the advancement of Muslim civilization, enriched by the cultural diversity and the vast Indonesian archipelago. Many issues concerning the Muslim world have been written about by Westerners, so extensive. We hope that you as students of UIII will add your voices and perspective to the global discourse. So we set up not only having global standard, but we are going to contribute to the global discourse. You will be the authors about yourself, your country, the subject of global conversation about Muslim world. I also want to emphasize that the UIII scholarship come from the Indonesian government, come with a big responsibility. These scholarships are funded by taxpayer, that is the people of Indonesia. As recipients, you must maintain the highest standard of academic ethics and achievement. Congratulations, you were selected because of your potential, and your duty is to embrace your studies with diligence, immerse yourself in the realm of scientific knowledge, within your respective discipline and strengthen your academic knowledge, method, and skill. Remember that education is not just a preparation for the future jobs, a small part of a big machine of capitalism. No, it is a journey with meaning that will open doors to a more complex and enlightened world. So, learning extends beyond the classroom. Embrace the opportunity to socialize, make friends, and interact with people from different walks of life. Embrace the wisdom of multiculturalism, for it is in diversity that we find strength. Beyond academics, we also encourage you to be active in engaging with community and learning to interact with individuals from diverse backgrounds. Today, I encourage you to celebrate the power of ideas and the brilliance of human mind. Let your ideas flourish and remain open-minded in your pursuit of knowledge. As postgraduate student, your role is not just to speak, but to listen and learn deeply within your respective field of study. In closing, remember that the journey you embark upon today is not one you take alone. You join in a community of scholars, thinkers, and dreamers who are committed to making a positive impact on the world. Embrace this journey, for it is the path to personal and collective growth. Again, welcome to the Universitas Islam International Indonesia, where the pursuit of knowledge knows no boundaries. Congratulations on this momentous occasion, and I look forward to witnessing your achievement in the years to come. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Honorable Rector, our warmest gratitude for your inspiring address. We sincerely appreciate your insightful words.
Continuing with our next agenda, it's the convocation speech. Now let us receive an inspirational message from the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Phillips J. Vermonte, PhD, and it is an honor for me to introduce him to you as the convocation speaker of this year. Dr. Vermonte received his PhD in comparative politics from Northern Illinois University, funded by the Fulbright Scholarship, and currently serving as the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences since 2021. He is also known as a Senior Fellow at CSIS, the Center for Strategic and International Studies, after holding second term of CSIS, Indonesia's Executive Director from January 2016 to 2022. He is currently serving as a president of the Indonesian Pollster Association as well, known as PERSEPI, a nationwide professional association that has 40 public opinion organizations from all over Indonesia, and also serving as the leader of the DMRU CSIS Disaster Management Research Unit at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. We now invite the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Dr. Vermonte, to deliver the convocation speech. The time is yours.
Excellency, Pak Yusuf Kala, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Indonesian International Islamic University, Honorable Rector, Professor Kamarudin Hidayat, professors and deans, and conveners of PhD and master's programs, colleagues, faculty members, and dear students. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to everyone. In the next 10 minutes, I am asked to share some thoughts on issues that might be of your thinking in the next 2 years for master's students and probably 4 years for PhD students. As graduate students, I think it is our task to see things through helicopter views. We should see the forest while we are also seeing the trees. Your classrooms, discussions, seminars at these universities, and maybe beyond UIII in the next few years, you will see the trees, the details. You will study methodologies, theories on your respective fields. But we should not lose sight on the forest, because that's why we are all here today. So I'm gonna share you some global problems to watch. That is our forest, that I think is very important for us. Next slide, please. Another one. I'm gonna share you about 6 global problems to watch. There are many others. There's nothing new under the sun. But if we can tackle these problems together, only 6 of them, maybe we will be surviving the earth. In 1990s, at the end of the Cold War, a political scientist, Francis Fukuyama, wrote a book, as I believe you all know and familiar about the book, that is The End of History. Fukuyama thought that now the world would be guided by the Western liberal democracy, because Soviet Union had collapsed and the Western order triumphed. And our world order will be led by a US-centered world order. But somehow, 30, 40 years later, we know that that was not the correct depiction of history after the 1990s. Because now we've seen that actually it's not a unipolar world. Now we are living in a multipolar world. The US is one pole, but you have also China, Russia, European Union, and some other countries. Nigeria in Africa, Brazil in Latin America, and probably Indonesia to some extent. And also now we know, we've been knowing this for a long time, that the world is multi-civilizational. We live together, Islamic civilization, Christian civilization, Hindu civilization, and all other civilizations that now interact in full speed after the end of the Cold War in 1998 or 1990s. And because now you are all in Asia, the rest of Asia is rising. China is rising very fast, followed by India, and also to some extent Indonesia, that now we are part of G20. That is the grouping of 20 largest economy in the world. So the rest of Asia is catching up. With that, we now see the emergence of what they call scholars, social science scholar, international relations scholar, call it New Asian values. That is some sort of technocratism led by the East Asian countries with technology, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, combined with some sense of social conservatism, that we give the role to the state to lead the economy and to some extent regulate social affairs. So that is some kind of a new Asian values. What I'm saying here is that if we compare developing world like ours with the developed world, it's not really only about democracy, but it is about the level of governance, whether governments deliver the duty to provide prosperity to their citizens. Next slide. So there is this Indian scholar, his name is Parakana, saying that that's the new end of the end of history. The history starts again, and with this new Asian values and Asian rising. When I said that it is not only about democracy, democracy is important for sure, but the level of governance. If I plot the data, I took it from the UNDP, Human Development Index, and the level of freedom counted for by the Freedom House survey every year. You can, it's a free data, you can download it from the Freedom House survey website, and also Human Development Index data from UNDP, United Nations Development Program. If I plot the data of countries, I only put some countries there, from 1995, and then later on you will see 2017. It's not complicated data. It looked like it's complicated because I need to look as complicated person. Put the data there. So you will convince that this is the good university to go, right? Now, the circle of this, the size of the circle represents the GDP. That is the size of the economy of the country. The larger the circle, the larger the economy. And the horizontal axis represent Human Development Index. If you are going to the right, that means your Human Development Index is good, better. And then the vertical axis represent freedom, democracy, from Freedom House survey every year. The more you go up, the more freedom you have by this indicator. So if you plot these three factors, you see these figures. Now the aspiration of the world is to be on the top right-hand corner. You see all the large economies, stable democracy in Norwegia, Scandinavian countries, South Korea, Japan, Finlandia, Australia, and so on. So we are wanting to be there. Stable economy, large economy, good, high Human Development Index. And you see in 1995, most of us have a small circle. That is, our economy is smaller, much smaller compared to these mature, stable democracy of the West. Next slide. If you look at the data from 2017, you see it different. You see China has grown so fast. The circle for China is growing so big. Indonesia, the red one, also going up, right, compared to the previous slide. Now we have more freedom, more democracy, and more economy. And you see some of your countries as well. But you see it is still in the middle of the spectrum. That is, our Human Development Index is not moving to the right. Our economy is growing, our democracy is better, but Human Development Index remains almost the same. What is wrong? That for you to think for the next 2 years. Is it only about economic policy, education, politics, and so on? That's the first problem. Second one, next slide. There is this problem. This is another forest. Because for so long, since 1945, we are led by the so-called Washington Consensus, Western Order, transatlantic alliance between the US and West European countries, Now you see the crack. There is a war in Ukraine that has been going on. And also there are differences of policies among the European Union countries and the US, especially on the issue of climate change. The EU works more closely with China than the US. So the Atlantic alliance between the Americans and the Europeans, EU and the US, they are geopolitical alliance, but they are geoeconomic rivals. And that will bring a lot of consequences for us in a much more less developed countries. So that's the second thing that I think you need to talk and discuss during your journey at the Indonesian International Islamic University. Third problem, next slide. We now see the role of regional organization and regional development across the globe. It's not only about Europe, it's not only about North America, but now our part of the world become important as well. You have African Union, you have ASEAN, and you have other regional groupings in your respective countries from where you are coming from. but we are dictated by this geopolitical competition between the US and China. And I believe we should not be dictated. We should find ways to find our position in this geopolitical change. And that's the third issues that you need to think about, because it will impact not only those who are studying international relations, but I think all fields will be affected by this geopolitical change that we are facing. But do not lose sight as well. When we are perceiving the decline of the United States, as a matter of fact, the US maintains global supremacy in terms of military. And I think it will stay the same for the next 2 or 3 decades. In the 1990s, we have the short unipolar moment when the US was the only surviving superpower. But then now we have multipolar world. And you see, since then on, Southeast Asian countries register very high economic growth. We are prospering. And sub-Saharan Africa, if you look at the data, also registered very high economic growth. So the future is there, actually. Do not lose sight of what has been happening in our part of the world. Yet, US and China continue to influence, and in Southeast Asia, China's influence is growing. So it creates a lot of discussion. I'm not saying problem, but discussion in our part of the world. Next slide, 4th. Continuing on, there is this growing perception of the decline of the US, and I said should not be the case. The US remain a most advanced society. But what has been declining in the region is the declining of democracy. We were so optimistic in 1998, but now in the region, we have military junta in Myanmar, and not long ago, until 2-3 months ago, we had military junta in Thailand. You can imagine in Southeast Asia, there were 2 military junta at the same time. That's a very sharp declining of the region. But Southeast Asia and East Asia has become the engine of global economic growth. So that's why I think you are going to the right region for those of you coming from outside Southeast Asia and Asia. Next slide. Number 4, we have to really think about the role of China. This is a coming superpower. Right? After the pandemic, China has returned to the economic growth, but they still struggling to recover from the pandemic of all the consequences in their social life and their economic development as well. China is increasingly very assertive. They flex some muscle in South China Sea. They deploy their military to the South China Sea, provoking response from other countries. And Southeast Asia is at the heart of this global political competition between US and China. So you might sense some of this during your stay in Indonesia. So China now living Deng Xiaoping's teaching, that is, hide your capability and be low profile. It's no longer. Under Xi Jinping, China has been very assertive. Now, with this geopolitical shift and potential for war, those of you who are studying international relations might be familiar with this book written 1,000 years ago by a Greek philosopher Thucydides, the Peloponnesian War, where he chronicling the war between Spartans and Athens at that time. And one of the passage that has been read again and again by international relations students is that in the context of competition between major powers, there is this tenet that the strong do what they want, the weak suffer what they must. That's the history of 1,000 years of wars. But of course, we are living in different era. That should not be the case. That we cannot let the strong do what they want and the weak suffer what they must. So think of it in the next 2 or 4 years. Next slide. For those of you who are coming from Middle East, this is also a new rapprochement in the Middle East. Some democratic openings in some of the Middle East countries. but we've seen also increased conservativeness in Israel. So it's going to be very difficult and interesting period to watch that how the Middle Eastern countries connect to each other in relation to the issue of, for example, Palestine and so on and so forth. That might have some ramification to domestic politics in Indonesia and probably in some other countries. There is a nuclear problem in Middle East. Iran is getting closer. There was a deal in 2015 between the permanent 5 members of the United Nations with Iran and EU. But then, and the US, in 2018, under Trump, US decided to withdraw from that agreement, leaving all this agreement on halting the nuclear development program in Iran. So now we are, I think, need to really consider what will it mean if countries acquire more nuclear power. Next slide. Bear with me, 2 more slides. This is the biggest challenge that we've been facing: the pandemic and climate change. The pandemic for 3 years teach us one lesson, that we are all vulnerable, whether you are coming from rich country, poor country, in Europe, in the US, in Southeast Asia, in Africa, we are all vulnerable to the pandemic and also climate change. Next slide. But as human beings, we fail to read the message from the nature. Pandemic happened in 2020, but the signs for the pandemic had started in 2002. In this region, in 2002, we have SARS, basically caused by the same virus. At the time, only 1,000 people infected in 29 countries. We did nothing in terms of international cooperation. In 2003 and 2007, there was bird flu caused by the same strain of virus, causing 300 deaths, creepingly increased. 2009, we had swine flu caused by similar virus, causing more, 200,000 deaths. And you have in the Middle East what they call MERS, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, similar caused by COVID strain of virus, infecting about 2,500 people in 27 countries, causing 800 deaths. And in Africa, you had Ebola, remember? And second wave of Ebola in Africa in 2018 caused 2,200 deaths in Congo only. So we have received signals from the earth, but yet we did not really respond because we do not have enough science, we do not have enough education, we do not have enough technology. So now we had coronavirus. I hope it's over, like our director said earlier. Next slide. Last, refugees and internally displaced persons. We keep fighting each other and we keep killing each other. That's sad news for the world. Rohingya in 2017 already caused a lot of 1 million refugees or internally displaced persons. You mentioned Syria and other places, Venezuela, and this is a serious problem because if you have refugees, meaning you have not solved your internal conflicts. And that's why I think at this university, we are teaching how to solve conflict peacefully. And I hope that you will learn from that to prevent future conflicts to happen, not only in Indonesia, but probably on your respective countries. Last slide, what to do. Number one, be open-minded, because many of these problems are not ideological. We think it's ideological, but it is not. but they are technocratic that require skills, knowledge, and science. And your capacity to tackle this will decide the future. Number two, cooperation, not competition, is for sure the way to go. In the language of international relations students, we need more multilateralism than unilateralism. So these are the 7 global problems to watch. I hope it will impact you in your study, choose of research topics, and the discussion. And I hope you will remember this day 2 years later or 4 years later, you will identify where in these dots you will contribute to solve some of this problem. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Formonte, for the very informative speech.
Next agenda, prayer. Now we would like to call Dr. Ahmed Hassan Wakid to lead the prayer.
حياكم الله جميعا وطبتم وطاب ممشاكم وتبوأتم من الجنة منزلا. بسم الله ما شاء الله، لا يسوق الخير إلا الله. بسم الله ما شاء الله، لا يصرف السوء إلا الله. بسم الله ما شاء الله، ما كان من نعمة فمن الله. بسم الله ما شاء الله، لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. ربنا لك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه، ملء السماوات وملء الأرض وملء ما بينهما وملء ما شئت من شيء بعد. اللهم لك الحمد حتى ترضى، ولك الحمد إذا رضيت، ولك الحمد بعد الرضا، ولك الحمد أبدا أبدا. يا رب لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في كل وقت وحين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. اللهم ألف بين قلوبنا وأصلح ذات بيننا واهدنا سبل السلام ونجنا من الظلمات إلى النور، وجنبنا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن، وبارك لنا في أسماعنا وأبصارنا وقلوبنا وأزواجنا وذرياتنا، وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم، واجعلنا شاكرين لنعمتك مثنين بها عليك قابلين لها وأتمها علينا. اللهم لا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا، وبلغنا ما يرضيك آمالنا، واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة، ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم اجعل هذا العام عام خير وبركة وفلاح ونجاح. اللهم إنا نسألك الفردوس الأعلى من الجنة. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع، ومن قلب لا يخشع، ومن نفس لا تشبع، ومن دعاء لا يسمع. اللهم إنا نسألك خير الدعاء وخير المسألة وخير النجاح وخير العلم وخير العمل وخير الثواب وخير الحياة وخير الممات، وثبتنا وثقل موازيننا، ونسألك الدرجات العلى من الجنة. اللهم يا معلم موسى علمنا، ويا مفهم سليمان فهمنا، ويا مؤتي لقمان الحكمة وفصل الخطاب آتنا الحكمة وفصل الخطاب. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Thank you. May our prayers be answered.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final agenda of the third Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia Academic Convocation. To the Honorable Rector, you have the honor to proceed to close the ceremony. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Honorable Rector. Now, we would like to request everyone to please rise for the procession of the University Senate to leave the premises.
Thank you. You may return to your seat. That concludes the Academic Convocation 2023. Thank you for attending this ceremony. Once again, congratulations and welcome to the family of the Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia. We wish you all strength and courage to make your years here worth. We look forward to seeing you all around the campus. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Attention, please. Attention to all students. Kindly remain that tomorrow you will have orientation weeks on the faculty.
To all students, please stay in this venue because there's going to be a photo session with your deans on the stage. So you may remain in this venue and eat your snacks, and please wait for our further instructions. Thank you.
Okay, now we will have a photo sessions. Start from the Faculty of Education. Please gather in the front of the stage. All students from the Faculty of Education will take photo with the dean and also the lecturers. Students from Faculty of Education, please come forward to take photos with the deans and the lecturers.
Itu tadi foto profilnya yang minta daripada pada keluar kan.